Good morning, students. So, as we were studying our chapter number 12, time and motion. So, in this time and motion, we have completed our point speed. And about speed, I already told that there were the three formulas. First of all, what is the speed? So, speed refers to how fast or slow an object is, or we can say distance traveled in unit time is known as speed. And about the speed formula, three formulas I told of speed. So first formula was speed equals to distance traveled upon time taken. Next, the formula was of distance, that is distance equals to speed into time, and then formula of time was time equals to distance upon speed. So on the basis of this, there are few numericals, but these numericals will not come in your exam, so you need to worry for that. But still, in mathematics, you have already learned how to calculate the distance and speed in the previous classes. Like in fourth and fifth, we used to find the distance and speed and all. So these things are already done by you. So I'm not thinking that you need to be doing. You need to practice this. But if you face any problem, you just go through these questions. Like here, one of the numerical is given: a school bus traveled a distance at a speed of 1500 meter in 100 second. Calculate its speeds. So you can calculate the speed by speed equals to distance traveled upon time taken. Distance traveled was 1500 meter and time taken is 100, and the formula is the speed equals to distance upon time. So here 1500 upon 100, so it will come 15 meter per second. So this will be the value, and the speed will come in meter per second. Yes, there are two units of speed, meter per second and kilometer per hour. So if you want, you can convert it into kilometer per hour also. Okay, now next, instrument used to measure the speed. So see, as we when we used to travel with our parents in a bike, so what we used to see, that there is a board which tells in your bike, there is a board, sometimes it is digital or sometimes it is manual. It used to show the distance. So it used to show the distance, speed, xyz. So the device which is fitted in our vehicle, which tells us the speed of the bike, which tells the speed of the vehicle, a panel fitted in our vehicle which usually tells the speed of the vehicle is known as speedometer. So the instrument which is used to tell the speed of a vehicle is known as a speedometer. The instrument which tell us the speed of the vehicle is known as a speedometer. Whereas there is also a one small box which tell us the distance traveled by the vehicle. There is a box which also tell us the distance traveled by the vehicle. So the object, the instrument which tell us the distance traveled by the vehicle is known as a odometer, or is known as a odometer. So the instrument which is used to display the speed is known as a speedometer. The instrument which is used to display the speed in our vehicle is known as a speedometer, whereas the instrument which is used to display the distance traveled by the vehicle is known as the odometer. And together we can see both of the things in our vehicle. Okay, some previously the numbers used to be written on the panel, but nowadays it has been digitalized. So the distance traveled is shown in the form of digital form. So generally whenever we travel, and when we need to calculate the speed, we need to draw a graph of distance and time. We need to draw a graph and distance at time. So the graph which is drawn such that the on x-axis we take speed and on y-axis we take distance. So the graph drawn between the distance and time, between the distance and time is known as the distance time graph. The graph drawn between distance and time is known as the distance time graph, and the use of the distance time graph is to calculate the speed. The graph drawn between distance and time and which is used to calculate the speed is known as the distance time graph. Okay, in such a graph we represent distance on x-axis. Already I told, we represent the distance on x-axis and the speed, sorry, on x-axis we represent the time, on x-axis we represent the time, and whereas on y-axis we represent the distance. Sorry, on x-axis we represent time and on y-axis we represent distance. And the graph is plotted for distance traveled at different points of time, and the graph is plotted for distance traveled at different point of time. Like you can see here, the distance is taken on y-axis and time is taken on x-axis. Here various points are taken, like after each 2 minutes we are calculating the time speed distance after every 2 minutes. So 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, and on the y-axis there is the distance in kilometers. And so at the various time we have measured the distance. So this is representing the speed. So this is known as the distance time graph. A flat slope. Remember, this is a very important point to be seen. A flat slope indicates zero or no speed, means your vehicle is in rest. When the vehicle doesn't show any response, then the line drawn is flat. Then the line drawn is flat slope. So zero or no speed is denoted by the flat slope. For example, here, see, you can see here this B and C points. These are flat. That means the vehicle is in rest. That means the vehicle is in rest. And when the slope is constant, means the speed is constant, means regular we are driving on a constant speed. That is, suppose we are driving on 45, then the slope will be always constant. Like you can see here, the slope is constant. You can see that there is direct flat line. This shows that the speed is constant, means the person is driving at a same speed for a continuous hours. There is a no change speed, no changes in the speed of the vehicle. So an object which is represented by the above activity, the object which is represented in the above activities has a constant speed. The object which is represented in the above activity has a constant speed, and the object in such motion, when the object possesses the constant speed, then the object is said to be in a uniform motion. When an object possesses the same speed, then the object is said to be in a uniform motion. That is, in the uniform motion, object travels equal distance in equal interval of time. That is, in uniform motion, the object travels equal distance in equal intervals of time. Uniform motion is represented as a straight line in a distance time graph. Uniform motion is represented as a straight line in distance time graph. Okay. So one mode to represent the speed is the distance time graph. One mode to represent the speed is the distance time graph, and the other means to represent the speed is the pie chart, or we say circle chart. Pie chart is the another form to represent speed. So data can also be represented by the other types of chart depending on the aspect of motion you want to study. So the pie chart represent the total time spent by the moving object at different speed. So what is pie chart denotes? Pie chart denotes the total time spent by the object at different speed. Once again, I will repeat what is the function of the pie chart. Pie chart shows the percentage of the total time spent by the object at different speed. Okay. Same you can do also with the bar graph. So bar graph, this bar graph, that is, this bar graph is also known as histogram, but you need not to study this right now. You will study it in further class. So this bar graph is also used to represent the speed, that is the percentage of the total time spent by the different object at different speed. So there are three modes by which we can represent the distance traveled by the object in particular time. First is bar graph, second is pie chart, third is histogram, but you need not to study histogram right now, but it is given in your book. So just remember three ways we can represent. First is pie chart, second is bar graph, and third is histogram. Okay. So here your chapter number 12 is completed. Explanation, exercises and question answers of this chapter I have already given. Yeah, tomorrow there will be a live class for you of science. That will be at the doubt clearance class. It will be the doubt clearance class. If you want to clear your doubts, you just take your books, go through the chapters. Suppose if any exercise I haven't given, you go through that. You first resolve everything. Go through all the chapters. In any exercise, if you face any problem, you can ask me. And same for that value education. So tomorrow there will be classes for live class for both doubt solving, that is life skill, and also for the science. So if you face any problem, you can ask me. And yeah, you need to join. After that, in the exams, if you will come after the exams, this you are not getting, that you are not getting, so I will not consider it anything. You have to join the live class anyhow. Okay. So my dear students, thank you very much.